So I just wanted to talk a little bit about where we're going next year and some of the people who are taking us there, what we're going to do, and recruit some new faces. So what I have as a goal, objective, and a vision for this year is that every club has someone who knows what's going on in the district. So I have a question for you to help me answer and go to that vision. How did you know to be here today? Can you type it into the chat window? How did you know to be here today? Did you see a Facebook post, the email, the district site? Did your mother tell you? How did you know?
So people are saying email, Facebook, email. Carol contacted me, email, Facebook, email.
Okay, so I hear email. Expect to get emails about what's happening in the district. Hopefully not too often. But I think looking at your answers is going to drive our communication method. Now, this is the team that has stood up so far. We have Jamak and we have Neil Booth, who are both former public relations managers. Rob Evans, who's driving the website, was doing work even as we're here in our TLI session. He's updating the website. David and Kevin are also on our team here. We have Ray Miller, who's doing YouTube and getting some help from Hyder and from Adam. And we have Katie Miller, who is doing our e-blasts. And we have opportunities for people to help out in different areas. Google Maps, LinkedIn, a Slack master, Meetup, work on the newsletter in some form of capacity so that our communication gets out to you. Open houses and in-person meeting coordinators. And then whatever drives your passions with public relations, we can find a place for that in the team. And that would be what's going on in next year. And it's time for questions, comments. Silence. That means it's time for lunch.
I think we killed it, Janice. They have no questions, or they're really, really hungry.
I know I am really, really hungry.
I don't have any questions at this time, Janice.
I see something here in chat. Major initiative this year is probably going to be getting a newsletter out to everybody so we could email people with what's going on in the district.
Is the district PR team like looking for any help from the like other members in particular?
Yes.
Like I noticed you've put up all these different logos and then you were like asking for help briefly, but like how would somebody actually sign up if they were interested? Should they be contacting you directly?
Yes, please. Let me put my email address in chat. And if you are interested in something that's listed there or not, but you still have a passion that you want to work with on the district, we'll find a place for you. I see a question. How do we dovetail our D96 PR with that from TMI? I don't know, but I have great resources in Jamak and Neil and Louisa to ask that question. But they have to unmute themselves if they do want to respond.
I'm not sure I understand the question. If you're asking me, you'll have to elaborate.
Yeah, so I asked a question. So yeah, we get quite frequent, well, maybe not so frequent, communication from Toastmasters International. And then, you know, as a division director, for example, I'd be communicating with people, and then District 96 does. And some of the club presidents have kind of complained of over email. They're getting email from different quarters about the same thing or different things. And it eventually gets to the point that they're going to start ignoring it because there's too much. So how do we avoid that by having the same message or slightly different messages come from different places?
I think there's one easy answer, and that is the newsletter, which will now go out once a month as opposed to going in separate emails, right, Janice?
Yep, that is the plan. And I sure hope we can walk the talk on that one.
Something that Ray put in the chat, and I want to reiterate it just in case people didn't see it. He said if you have videos for your clubs, we can post it on the YouTube channel for the district. Please have videos for your clubs. Please, it's helpful.
One other thing that I wanted to mention too was I've done some reorganization on the District 96 YouTube channel, and I've reorganized things into playlists. So there's one playlist there called Toastmasters International Videos, which I'll be, whenever the Toastmasters International site posts up some information that might be useful, either be training or something like that, rather than recreate the wheel, I'm just adding those to that playlist as new ones come up that seem to be relevant. So, you know, there's another reason to be subscribed to the channel and just pay attention to stuff, or even refer back to that, because sometimes that information is available right there.
Yeah, just to add to that a little bit, we've mentioned this before. Again, one of the other advantages of Zoom is you can very, very easily record somebody's speech now. Of course, with their permission, right? Get their permission, make sure they're okay with it, make sure they want to be posted online, but you don't need a camera now, you don't need to have a tripod, you don't need to have a microphone. You just need to start recording it on Zoom, and that, you know, if you have some video editing chops, that would help. But even if you don't, you just have to crop the video and it's ready to go.
So there was a question about whether or not there's actually a manual for doing open houses.
There is a lot of information available on doing open houses. Again, on our Google Drives, we have some of that stuff. And
we also had an open house coordinator in Annie Chang, but that was this term. I'm not sure yet if Annie Chang wants to stay on board. So if there was any questions about open houses, she was available to help out. I'll double check on that with Annie.
Janice, we have the green light, but there's a question I want to address really quickly about Google searches and clubs, if you don't mind. So simple question is, the easiest way for your club to show up on Google search is to make sure that you're on the Google map. Because if someone just searches for Toastmasters on their phone and it has the geolocation on their phone, your club will show up, of course, along other clubs, but you could have testimonials and whatnot to strengthen that if you're really trying to compete against other clubs. Try to rank high organically in natural search for your Toastmasters club is a lot of work. I can tell you how to do it outside of this, but just the Google Maps would be really, really helpful.
Yeah.
One last thing about YouTube account, you do not need to have a YouTube account. I think you just send the video to Ray and he can upload it onto the district's account. If you want to have an account for your own club, you just need a Gmail address and for the club, and you can do that.
Yeah, and if you do have a Gmail, account or a YouTube channel for your club, and you're posting videos up to it, I'm trying to follow all of the club channels that I can find for the district with our YouTube channel, and anything that gets posted up and you want to share, I can add it to a playlist in the channel, which is a playlist that has basically district club content. So if you have a speech or a workshop or something like that that you want to have, I've created a playlist for, it's called D96 member content. It's all in the playlist on that channel as well.
Follow up on Google Maps real quick. Somebody said that all the clubs have been set up. Yes, Donald Law set them up last year. But okay, Janice wants to say something. I'll let you go.
He set them up last year and is now looking to retire from that role. So if we have somebody who is passionate about Google Maps, we would love to transition that.
Right. What I was just going to say is they need to have claimed their club. If you don't claim your club, you have no power over editing it. So he said that in the training last year. There are still clubs that have not been claimed. So you need to claim the club.